Now, staying on the election theme, sporadic protests, both supporting and protesting against yesterday's election results, have sprung up around the capital this evening. This comes after hundreds of people were arrested at illegal rallies on election day.
Prime Jacob Greaves is at an opposition protest at Chiste Prodi. He's with us now. Jacob, good evening to you. If you could first please fill us in and just tell us what's been happening around the city today.
Well, sure. Well, this protest behind me has been going on for over an hour and a half, and it's just drawing to an end now. But all throughout that hour and a half, it's been growing in volume and particularly growing in numbers. You saw at some point it's spilling out into the streets and quite literally just stopping traffic. It's proved very numerous, much more than was originally expected. And this started up and organised by Solidarity, and they set this up on Facebook to gain extra members. It's really gained impetus ever since. The principal message being proclaimed is dissatisfaction, anger with how these elections have been run, and also the results that we've been witnessing since. Now, around the capital today there has been a contrasting story. That's of pro-United Russia rallies, one organised by Nashi, a youth movement loyal to the ruling party United Russia. Well, that was numbering in its thousands starting off the day, and also at 7 o'clock tonight we saw a similar protest taking place with a show of support again for United Russia. But we are expecting, according to reports, according to police reports as well, there to be other protests and demonstrations flaring up around the capital later tonight.
Jacob, I know that you were out and about on the streets of Moscow yesterday evening while the elections were taking place. Just interested, what did you see and how would you gauge the mood then around the capital?
Well, a lot of the opposition protests that took place yesterday were really quite sporadic in nature throughout the course of the day and didn't necessarily involve movements or parties, rather individuals, so they were isolated around the capital. Nonetheless, they did occur and arrests were made. Actually, over 100 people detained in total over the course of the day. That includes opposition demonstrators, also those of Nashis, the pro-youth, pro-governmental organisation at present, and they were arrested as well for showing support for United Russia yesterday. Now, the reason behind this is supposed to be a day of silence. That means that no campaigning or electioneering can take place whilst the polls are still open and people are still voting. So the police clamped down there. Perhaps the biggest and largest amount of arrests occurred at Mayakovsky and Tromfonaya Square. There, Article 31 staged a protest. This is calling for freedom of assembly. It's something they protest against on the 31st of every single month, obviously using the election day to gain added impetus. Well, many of their members were hauled away by police on the day, owing to the fact it's still that day of silence.
Thank you so much. That's our correspondent Jacob Greaves. He's at Chiste Prodi now, where an opposition protest is just coming to a close as far as